Hey everyone, Walter Bowne here. So this comes from my story collection, No Wait. So if you like this, I have a ton of other stories just like this. So please, you can support and happy reading. And take care, everyone. South of Providence. It was a Saturday, my dad's weekend, but my brother Stuart had work, so it was just me. My dad had promised the circus at the convention center, but this guy who looked like Indiana Jones said the elephants shipped out last week. This Jones guy took off his brown hat, stepped out of the sun, and leaped onto the Mary Rose. Well, the boat is renamed after me. Was there really no more circus? The stranger had curly hair and stood over my dad. His eyes were washed in blue with brown caterpillar eyebrows. At the marina, we usually just said a few hellos. That early spring had a bad storm that had come through during the night. The rocking was like rocking in Mom's arms, the rain, like nails. Mr. Jones invited us to his little get together to welcome new boat members. Last year, Stuart and I helped Dad move the boat from Cape May to Atlantic City. Now, Dad just combed his thin brown hair to the side with his fingers. He stepped back, almost tripping over me. Our bridge cover, Mr. Jones said, had torn in the storm. But that's easy enough to replace, he said. He picked up his hat and jumped onto the pier like some TV cowboy. He soon left, but his cologne remained on the deck. With the end of his white shirt, my dad cleaned his glasses. He felt dizzy, bending to pick up the pink blinds that had fallen. The sliding doors wouldn't budge, and the whole darn thing fell down. Dad had something called vertigo, something about ear crystals, but the feeling eventually went away like a nightmare. Picking at the dried glue and sitting with the blinds, he looked at the small screws. Maybe I can win some repair money at the casinos. Are you okay? I mean, I can get the pills. I'm fine. Just keep the bottle with you. My dad used his boat as his, quote, lily pad. After my mom kicked him out, he had a place in Pennsylvania close to work. When it was warm, the weekends with us meant the boat. Dad was never good alone. Stuart hated the weekends, but not me. There was just me and my messy blonde hair and my juice-stained lips. My mother thought of so many ways we could have died when Dad had us. When Stuart wasn't there, my dad didn't take the boat out, so he was mad. He was sorry about the circus. We should have come last week. Last week wasn't our weekend, Dad. He nodded. On his cheek, he tapped the area for a kiss, full of whiskers. On that Saturday afternoon, we went to the Golden Nugget. While I sat with my picture books on the comfy chair, he played the games. He would order a drink, turn to me, and give me a thumbs up. When he came over, I asked, "Did you win enough money for the child support?" Stuart wanted me to ask you about that. His face went white or red. We left the casino. Once in the cool breeze, he needed to sit. Some crazy big dog ran after a few gulls. A black pipe ran along the sand with a sign, "Danger, keep out, submerged objects." Dad was down. He glanced at a street sign, Providence. Did he whisper the name? On the beach, an old man with an ashy beard with huge headphones felt the sand with some metal thing. His black dog played with a dead bird. It was strange, of course, searching for things, but maybe it was just something to avoid thinking about things. The wind pushed down the dune reeds. The ocean seemed hungry, eating away at the sand. We looked at the sea. Sometimes my dad had all these daytime thoughts, like night dreams. I asked him about this Donkeyman. That story was his best. An old man who gave kids donkey rides at the shore to kids my age. Why did the donkey man want to take him away? I didn't have a good childhood, he said, pulling me close. Not like yours. Are you still dizzy? Not so bad now. My dad pointed to the boat on the ocean. That looks like my dad's boat, he told me. It was called Katrina, after my mom. She died when I was 16. He looked at his wrist, but the watch was on the boat. I waited for the usual half past a freckle line, But this was a different time. He was more down than ever, and he must have fallen inside a hole inside of himself. The black-haired dog brought the dead gull to the old man, who kicked to the side. The tide washed over our feet, the water cold. My dad shook the coins in his pocket, saying stuff like, "Mary Rose, I don't think your mother ever loved me. I was just, I don't know, but I loved her, and well, I love her still. Someday you'll know that feeling too. Hopefully for all of your life." He gave me coins to make wishes. With each coin tossed into the sea, I wished for my mother to relove my father, and that weight of love would force us all back to earth from those trips around the stars. We each searched for what was always the closest. The old man pulled his headphones around his neck. "You look like you just lost big," he said, leaning against the metal thing. My dad nodded. "Yeah, I lost big all right." "Play roulette?" he said. "The best odds, roulette. Yep." Pulling a lever seemed so much easier. I threw the last nickel with my last wish. "Just toss them on the beach for me," the old man said, reaching down for something. He stuffed the thing into his pocket. My dad didn't say a thing. Instead, with an empty green beer bottle he had found underneath the boardwalk, he filled it with sand and water, placed his thumb inside, and rocked this creation back and forth. The only thing missing, his ship. We sat on the sand. We did not move for a long time. "We could go to that party, Mary Rose," he said. "That guy with the new Viking has a girl about your age. You could have a friend. I had a friend long time ago. His name was, what was his? The Viking was the last boat on H Pier. On the back deck, Indiana Jones waved a blackened hot dog. His girl fished off the pier in a sundress. I wore loose brown pants and a wrinkled green t-shirt. "What kind of boat do you have?" some guy asked my dad. "A Concord." "Never heard of that." "It's an old model." I waited outside, full of worry, with the sundress girl as other kids came out too. It wasn't fun with parents drinking and carrying on about fish and boats and other things. "Do you do any fishing?" "No." "My dad's going in the tuna tournament. Are you from around here?" "Sometimes here, with my dad." "Which one is his?" I pointed down to H2. "That boat?" he said. "That boat is crap." The boys giggled. I lowered my head. The boys laughed, but I wanted to push them into the bay for the sharks. I had seen the girl with the father of Indiana Jones on a small rowboat fishing. "Is your grandpa here?" "He was tired," the girl said. "He doesn't like these people. He left with my brother for some peace." "What's your name?" "Jillian." "I'm Mary Rose." "I was lucky to have two names," she said. What was in her blue can? Jillian pulled out a huge shrimp and baited the hook. She threw the line, called it casting. At some point, my dad showed up behind us, drinking a beer. "Have you ever heard the story about the Donkeyman?" my dad asked Jillian. The girl shook her head. "He was an old man who lived around here, and he gave donkey rides to kids like you," he said with wonder. "But some say he was a pirate who lived on the moon, and he kidnapped kids who were unhappy. I met the Donkeyman when I was, well, younger than you girls. Right here in AC, I had a friend." "Well, that's just silly," Jillian said. "That old Donkeyman wouldn't want me. I'm happy here." As she fished in silence, my dad and I hung our legs over the pier. A hand-painted sign nailed on a wood in white paint read, "No wake." He placed his beer next to a piling. A splinter pinched my butt. Jillian, in that pink outfit, seemed comfortable on the edge of the dock, staring into the blue skies, watching the loud gulls fight to see who would sit on top of the wooden poles with the white caps. Just as Jillian said, she usually liked fishing for schoolie bass. Her line pulled. A strong pull. With a solid right foot, she stood up straight, leaning back. My dad jumped, placed his arms around her, helping to pull. My dad never taught me how to fish. "That's great," he said. "Keep going, keep going." The guys inside the boat noticed. "What's going on, dear?" Jones asked. My dad was still reeling, his glasses slipping off his nose. He pulled the line, feeling the line, his fingers mixing with this new girl. Then he brought this thing out of the dark water. Just like that. Out from the deep came this thing. It wiggled above the water. The biggest fish she ever caught, the little girl said. Heavy and dark brown with a greenish color. It did everything it could to get free. The thing couldn't breathe, right? I recalled hating that fish, but also praying for the poor thing, and I didn't want to hear her brag, brag, brag. A man laughed. Go ahead, do something with it. Like what? My father said. Get it off the line, it's not Jaws. They laughed. And after you deal with that fish, perhaps you can tell another joke, like the one you said about how watermelon is an aphrodisiac. My dad's hands were shaking. His heart must have been racing. He seemed unsteady. He bit his lip. He tried to grab the fish, but the fish kept wiggling away. I've never learned to fish, all right? What's so funny about that? Indiana Jones told him not to get so upset. My dad's glasses slipped off, and Indiana Jones picked up the glasses out of the air, just like that. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. Stepping forward, grabbing the fish, taking out the hook, and throwing the fish back into the calm, dark water, Jones ended the fish story. He wiped his hands. Daddy, I wanted to keep that fish, Jillian said. It was huge. Another time, my love. Well, what type of fish was that, Daddy? A weak fish, but it was too small. That fish wasn't weak at all, Daddy. On the way back, his vertigo was acting up. My dad. I led him back, carefully. He fell into the galley. I gave him pills, using my hand to catch the drips from the glass. His head placed on my lap. I used water and paper towels to cool his face. I rolled his head to the side to move the crystals. Why would crystals form? Weren't crystals expensive? Could the crystals pay for the things? Bridge cover. In a little while, he was fine. I just played with his hair, noticing not a single strand of gray. His name was Johnny. My friend, Johnny. My brother told me years later, they were happy times, dropping anchor at VZ Cove, rowing ashore in the blue twilight for a campfire, jumping half crazed from the flybridge, playing cards in the yellow evenings, lapping water lulling us to pleasant dreams on the dinette sleeper. Water as calm as lullabies, he said. My brother was the poet. Mom must have grown tired of being first mate, boatswain, steward, first chef, cabin boy, and swabby, my brother said. A year after, Dad drove off the side of the road and died. He was heading back to Pennsylvania. The boat was then docked at the Sassafras in Maryland. He liked it there better, on the waters of the Chesapeake. Stuart knows that story about running out of gas. Dad wanted to show me the fireworks in Baltimore Harbor. I remember those lights. Stuart once told me that Dad thought of suicide. Sometimes it got so lonely for him, my brother said, that he just didn't want to live anymore. Had no more part to play. But he didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident. He was tired. He was tired. My brother didn't know about his vertigo. He didn't know a lot of stuff. He did not listen. Dad didn't have anyone except me. That story about the Donkeyman who kept the lights running on those dark waters. Thank you. First published in P.S. I Love You, February 19th, 2020. Hey everyone, thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. If you can subscribe, I'd love that so much. And this will be out, hopefully. Oh, it's actually out now. No Wait, my collection of short stories that really started in graduate school back in 1995. Wow. Thank you.